Hi.
Hello.
Whoa.
Hi.
Hello.
I can't hear anyone.
Did you turn up your volume? Turn
It's
the
not
volume
working.
up.
Oh, hang on.
Oh, that'll do it.
That didn't work either.
Ooh. Day 30.
What?
Day 30, our original close date. Oh, I'd love to hear just how it's
I don't know if you can hear me. I'm going to log out and log back in because I can't hear anyone right now.
oh, even after she found her earbuds. Okay. Yeah, I'd love to hear about how the 30 days has been.
It's been really, for me, it's been really enlightening. I think I mentioned on Tuesday that, it showed me my deep relationship with resistance and had me contemplating that and its impacts and where it comes up in all kinds of ways. But yeah, so it was really interesting. And then, I was, pretty um, strict with my meeting my goals.
Yeah.
And the one time that I sort of fell off the wagon before vacation, um, I just sort of picked back up and I didn't, it was good because typically I might be like, well, I have to go back to day one anyway, and it's a Sunday and I'm going to treat myself kind of thing, or, sort of shame spiral a little bit, which I didn't do. And I was just like, no, that's all right. Just start over. And then it was harder on vacation than I had anticipated. So I just did my best with my goals. I didn't, and I, stopped using my tracker and everything. And I was like, this is all right. I've developed some healthy habits, and that was sort of the point, right? So not necessarily to be like, it must be a gallon of water a day. But I'm certainly drinking way more water than I was before. And my body is sort of asking for it. So anyway,
Yeah.
that's how this journey has been for me.
Yeah. Well, great.
Yeah.
Um, hmm. Yeah, let's just continue to go around and share, and then I'll get to the next point because I want Catherine to be here for this. Um, can you hear us now, Vanessa? All right. All right. Tiffany, would you like to share next?
Sure. So I am on day 13. um, and that feels really good because I had a lot of restarts, just getting back into a routine and being able to follow through and identifying how to work with my body in a focused manner. So that has been very helpful for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just really just again, just feeling grounded and back in my body again feels really nice and really exciting. And like that overwhelming and not knowing that I was experiencing has really faded. And uh, yeah, I feel like I'm on a path. So I'm still continuing. I'm still pushing for those 30 days. So
Good.
yeah. So
Glad to hear it.
yeah. I also just came out of a sound session and my daughter's fixing dinner. So I'm gonna go no camera for a minute just so I can come back down when she brings it in here, just so you know what's happening. So thank you.
Mm-hmm. V baby.
Hello. All right. So I didn't hear the original question. I'm assuming it's an update on the goals.
It's how has this 30 days been for you? Because we're now at day 30.
It has been, it's sort of culminated in the past few days for me, honestly. I think this week has been like the where it's all just kind of come together. As far as my goals are concerned, from what I heard from what Kristen was saying, I'm kind of been doing the same thing. Like I don't know. I'm probably still day one, but it's okay because I have been a lot more aware. Like my awareness to am I drinking water? Since this started, I had talked with a dietitian and she helped me change my goals where that was concerned. And so just been a lot more aware of what I'm eating and how that's going, picking up a few steps here and there whenever I can. And it's just really just being a lot more aware, sort of what Tiffany was saying, just being aware of my body, and what it needs and listening to that. Which I felt so bad for such a long time that feeling bad's just become kind of normal and not wanting to feel bad and making sure I don't make it feel worse or hey, we can actually feel good. Interesting. So that's kind of where I've been with a lot of that. Um, I will say today I woke up with mind gripping anxiety, and I have a feeling it's because of everything culminating. But if I need to go off camera to whatever, or even take a break, just want to let you know that that's kind of what's going on with me right now. Feeling better than I did whenever I woke up today, but yeah, just in case that starts choking me out again.
Um, I woke up with anxiety today too.
Really?
Yeah. I'm like, whoa, okay, hello. And I was like, is there something going on? Solar flare, Schumann resonance. I know we've got like a pink um full moon tomorrow. What about you, Chris and Tiffany? Like, yeah, did you notice anything just recently come about? Usually I'm feeling things like a little before other people.
I'm highly emotional, like just crying because like the wind is blowing. That's been coming up the last couple days for me. But
Way
yeah,
the wind blows.
yeah, I'm just like, oh, that felt so nice on my face. Let's cry.
Oh,
So it's a good cry.
Yeah,
Mm.
it just feels like a release. So
Mm.
maybe things are just coming up for you to release.
Yeah, and I haven't been getting out for walks during the day. They've been in the evenings, so but I hear you. These spring, I personally have a belief that these warm spring breezes that come in are here to, wash things away, to take things away and to bring in the new, just like Mary Poppins. What about you, Kristen?
So, yeah, first of all, I've been not sleeping well, which is a little bit of a surprise. It's kind of out of nowhere. And when we were in Bermuda, I had a like meltdown. I got really emotional about something, not because my partner and I were fighting. It was just I was recounting something about my childhood, and I just got really swept away by it, right? And it was like I was feeling all of that stuff, and I was just it totally took me by surprise to the point where like I was weeping. And here we are in this beautiful place on the beach, and the weather's lovely, and like just enjoying ourselves. But I felt so much better afterwards. It was definitely something that I needed to let myself feel into.
Yeah, nice.
And then like let it move through me and let it go. So, but it completely took me by surprise.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I like your positive spin on that rather than it being a negative spin, like, oh, well, here I am in the middle of paradise and I have a breakdown and I cry. You're like, no, like I went to paradise and it created this space for me to let a bunch of shit go, for a lot of stuff to come out and flow through and flow out. That happened to me when I was in Peru back in 2015. I took a solo. Here's Catherine. I took a solo trip to Peru, and I had done combo. Have y'all heard of combo? Yeah, I'd done combo a day or two beforehand, which is it's a it's toad medicine. For those that don't know, like they get it off of a toad, they burn your skin, and then they put this on and it makes you purge. It's not psychedelic, it doesn't get you high at all you do is throw up. And in a ceremony is maybe an hour and a half tops, I think. And then I went about my business, and a couple days later I'm on the train going to Machu Picchu, and I'm bawling, just bawling. I mean, not making a bunch of sounds because I'm on a plane, but the tears are just pouring. And as I'm looking at the beautiful Andes Mountains, like they were just doing something to me. Yeah. So it was beautiful. Well, since I'm sharing, I may as well continue sharing. So for me, the past 30 days has been, it was mostly up and flying high at the beginning. I think I shared in this, I don't know if I shared in here that at a certain point, so something I do when I walk that I wanted to share with you all, but I never got around to it, is I walk very slow and intentionally. And one reason I do like walking at night, I live in a very safe part of town, and I'll walk very late at night because it's so quiet. And the usual, distant noise of cars, you don't hear it. I just love how peaceful it is. And I can talk out loud to myself. And I download a bunch of stuff. I plan, I just get ideas for like posts and things to do in here. And excuse me. And one thing that I've been doing the past few years is really consciously slowing down when I walk, because I've realized ways that my body is aligned that I need to very consciously make sure that I'm holding myself the right way. So for instance, I realized that I used to brace through my lower back. I'd walk and I'd be leaning forward, using my low back to hold me up, and then going, oh, well, I'm going to use my core, realizing that the core isn't the issue, it's my glutes and my hamstrings. and needing to use those to tilt my pelvis the right way and to make sure that I'm not hyperextending through my knees, because I have a condition where I'm very flexible, but that doesn't mean it's a good thing. And so making sure that my knees stay bent so that my pelvis can tilt, so my back can relax, and then everything else up the spine can be in the proper condition, making sure my feet and my knees and all of that are doing like the right thing. And another benefit of walking very slowly is the presence. And so I can slow down and go, okay, what's going on right now? Oh yeah, I was lost in thought and my breath is now shallow. It's in my chest. There's tension. And then I allow myself to, drop back into my body and really slow down. And so I was walking a couple of weeks or so ago, and I had one of those times where I was like, oh, like there's oh, I'm in thought. Let's slow down. Let's see what's going on. And I noticed those all those signs that we talked about of fight, flight, freeze, fawn, tension, shallow breath, all of that. And so I right away went to, okay, what's going on behind this? What thoughts and everything are here, and was expecting it to be fear-based thoughts. And instead I heard, nope, this is excitement. This is excitement. And so instead of the fear of like, oh, what if I can't do this? And what if this? And what if that? And it was, no, this is really exciting. The what ifs were about positivity in the future and like all of the like, ooh, like cool stuff that's unfolding. And so I was really riding this wave. And as I shared in our last class, feeling the come down a bit and recognizing how I got into a little bit of delusion in allowing myself to think that being in an excitable state where I'm receiving a lot of information is the same thing as getting real clear and calm and still and meditating. That's very important to me. And so much of my inner connection practices were substituted with the excited mind. This is the quality of air, all these possibilities, talking about Mary Poppins flying in the wind, and getting carried away with the air, with the mind, with the possibilities and all that, rather than dropping into real presence of and stillness right here, right now. And yeah, so that's been a good lesson for me through this past month, that around the excitement and also the things that I need, the things that I optimally need to be my best. So yeah. So Catherine, we're sharing are you there, Catherine?
Yeah, I'm here.
Your last one to share. Parissa's in Puerto Rico.
Oh,
I think she just took a last minute trip to Puerto Rico.
nice.
But we're sharing what the last 30 days has been like, and that can be in relation to your goals, that could be in relationship to just what you know about yourself more now, just how it's been for you, wins, challenges, whatever. And if you're able to come on camera, that'd be great.
Yeah, I'll be able to come on camera in a little bit.
Okay.
Gosh, that's like putting me on the spot, Lo. I mean, I've enjoyed it all, and every class that we've had, I've gotten something out of it. And I'm glad I had a separate like notebook that I was using for my notes so that I can refer back to that and not just like scrap piece of paper or something, you know.
Yeah.
I it was helpful getting goals down like visually and actually writing it down. I didn't always every single day make the goals, but at least it was in my self-conscious knowing that these are things that I want to try to get done every day, but it didn't necessarily happen. But at least I had the determination and just setting the goals alone, even though I didn't get every single one done every day, was still better than not having any goals to work towards
Mhm.
for me.
Yeah.
So it was beneficial. I also enjoyed the camaraderie, I don't know if you call it camaraderie. It's not really camaraderie. That's probably not the right word. But just,
It is.
okay. Just all of us women being able to learn from you and then discuss things together, you know, all of us, and, form a little bond kind of.
Mm-hmm.
So I enjoyed that as well.
Great. Awesome. Thanks, Kat.
You're welcome. Thank you.
So, one of the things that our goals can teach us is, well, before I say that, why don't you just take a little bit of time and think about overall, however you want to measure it, um, how close you got to getting your goals. So 100% would mean you completed all your goals every day for 30 days. Um, and if you did above it, you could even be higher than 100%. But I know that's not anyone here. Um, and so however you want to measure it, you don't have to be precise. I'll give you, a little bit of time to think about it. What percentage do you think you were at realistically based on what you set in the beginning, unless you reframed it? And while you do that, I'm going to go get a blanket. I'll be right back.
Okay.
So go ahead and wrap that up. And we want to use this number not as a way to shame ourselves. So if that's come up at all, notice that that's there. And see if you can let that go. And if you're not able to let it go, then you can welcome it, feel it more, see what wants to be known, and then see if you can let it go. So the purpose of this Catherine says she'll be right back. Catherine, let me know when you get back. I don't know if you can hear me. So we want to use this as feedback for ourselves. And times when I've set goals, there's been times I way overshot. I couldn't get past resistance. And then there's been other times where I didn't set the bar high enough, apparently, because I went beyond the goals. And so this is feedback to show us where are we at. So let's say I was at 80% with my goals. Where else in my life am I playing at 80%? And then asking the questions that we've been asking along the way. How much does this matter to me? If I'm only going at 80%, is this something that I really want? Or is there something that just seems to be getting in the way that I need to do some inner work about or reassess my commitment level to this? And so that's how we get look and gauge the kind of feedback for ourselves is, okay, well, I was at 80%, and this is because maybe I didn't really care that much about the goals or allowed myself to get distracted. I know for me, getting looped into social media is one of the things that I can say, yep, like I can come up with, excuses, but really, if I'm being realistic, I did have the time, I did have the energy. I got hooked into social media though. All right. And I will start. Okay. So I'll start. Catherine, what we're doing is we're looking at that number and we're looking at it as feedback. So whatever that number is, what is that telling you about you? Where else are you showing up at 80%? Or if the goals really weren't that important to you, if you found out in the process, this one isn't really that important to me, how else is that showing up in your life? So I'll share. I'd say I was at 95%, depending on how you gauge it. That I had to restart after day 5 because I missed a small thing. And the biggest hang up for me is the, that on day 4 or 5, I added in a new goal. I said for my, what did I call it? Not productivity. I'm slow today, if you guys couldn't tell. This day 30, I'm going to crash tomorrow. So on day 4 or 5, for a piece of my personal growth goal, I added in that 15 minutes of that needed to be doing specific productivity stuff around my home. And I found that one I was doing it for a while and then I just wasn't doing it. And it was easy for me to say, well, it wasn't there in the beginning and I'm doing all this other stuff instead. Like all of the things I'm doing with editing the videos, and that's productive and that's executive functioning. But it's not specifically what I wanted, is to make sure I'm cleaning or doing paperwork or, doing working on some sort of household project. And so I can say that because of that would knock me down to 90% of what I was doing. And if I wasn't counting that, because I added it afterwards, that would put me up to 95%. I got all my water, I got my exercise, I got on my food. My creativity, I would also say that my creativity goal is in that category as well, where it's a bit of a gray area because I left it shady for that reason, where, oh, well, I'm editing these videos, that's creative. And that I had said I wanted to view my business stuff as creativity. And as I was going along, I recognized that it didn't have that same hit as doing something purely creative. So I did make some art, and that felt very different than working on my business stuff. And so for those reasons, those kind of like shady gray area kind of things, I give myself 90%, which I think is really good. Yeah, I'm pleased with that. And ideally, I would like to be at 100, and I'm still pleased with that. Who would like to share next? Or I could choose. Vanessa looks like she's thinking. Tiffany, what about you?
So when I checked in, the number that came up for me was 83. And I would agree with that. I too kind of made exceptions for those creative hours, because maybe they weren't as intentional as I had made the goal to be intentional. So that would be very giving there or telling there. And that shows up a lot for me and my, like, I can just make it be like kind of bare minimum, if you will. So yeah, I would be at 83%.
Great. I'm going to select the next person.
Kristen.
So when I set goals and I put like very specific parameters around them, I have a tendency to sort of fall into like a very rigidness. And so when you asked to come up with a percentage, I of course went to my calendar and counted how many days that I accomplished everything and did the math, and then was like, well, wait, the days that I didn't accomplish everything, I still accomplished some percentage of them, right? So I was like, do I go with the 73.33333%? Or do I, enhance that a little bit in recognition of partial achievement or what have you. So the straight line is 73.333%. It's 22 days that I accomplished everything. And but I I am trying to, not I'm trying to, I'm looking at this experience of being a little bit more gentle on myself. So one of the things that, so I think it matters to count in like the days that I had 14 cups of water as opposed to 16. Like for someone who was drinking like maybe a cup of water a day, like that's monumental.
God.
So there's that. But I also think I overshot. I was, all kind of jazzed up at first and like, I can do 7 goals. That's no problem. And I remember saying like, I have the time, so I don't really have an excuse to not put these, you know, this is going to be 60 minutes every day, and this is going to be 30 minutes every day. And um, I, I don't do well with structure. Like I know I need it, but I really don't do well with it. And again, putting structure around things like journaling and creative writing, which is a pleasure, it kind of just took the mojo out of it. It was like, again, I said this last time, I put it, all of a sudden it was on my list of things I had to do. And I just bristle about that. Like, so, another thing that I said, one of my goals was to have 2 unique like outreach to people because I really like my alone time, right? Like I can isolate like nobody's business. And that was really hard and unnatural. And like, I was like, oh, do my kids count? So I'd be like, I'm texting my kids good night. That counts. And it just, again, it was really eye-opening. And so then I consider the lessons that I learned or the doors that were opened for me to, you know, peek over the threshold and maybe step over the threshold. I think I want to calculate into the percentage because I think it all matters. But again, the idea of, for someone who doesn't treat other people this way, but very much with herself for many years, it's like all or nothing. I don't think that that's really very gentle or kind or realistic. So I'm going to give myself an 85% given all those things. And, I know now that I don't really want to put a time limit or a time requirement around creative pursuits. There are days that I spend all day long writing and doing all of that. And those are beautiful days. And then there are days where I either can't fit it in or I just kind of don't have the inspiration. And that's okay. Like whatever. The other thing I will say that came up is some guilt around because I started getting a little stressed out about getting everything done. And some of what was being reflected back to me was that was not all that pleasant to be around. And I was very self-centered during this pursuit. And I had to just let that slide off my back. I was like, I'm doing this for myself. And, I'm going through a process and it's illuminating, enlightening different corners of me that I need to take a look at. So sorry that it's not so much fun for you, but, but even like not, kind of collapsing in that moment and trying to take care of what everyone else needed in those moments and kind of stick to the course and like, get out there at 11:30 at night and do my last 20 minutes of walking or something like that. Where someone was like, just come to bed. This is crazy. Don't, so I feel like there was forces working against me too, like not evil forces, but just, so I had my own resistance and I had other people sort of saying like, really, can't you just, so I'm going with 85%.
Your own resistance, other people's resistance.
Yeah. Yeah. And then facing that as a woman and as a mom, and how easy it is for someone to just sort of mention the word selfish and then you take it on. Because we're not supposed to be, putting ourselves first, or, everyone else is. We're often putting other people in front of ourselves. So anyway, I'm feeling pretty good about it. And I think 85% is pretty fucking good. So
That's huge, Kristen. Like all of those insights that you had, and when we decide to take ourselves on in a new way, the world is going to test us.
Yeah.
And so you had that. The way like everything unfolded for you was perfect, where you got to really get a deeper reflection of yourself. And am I going to, like, how am I going to do this? Am I going to succumb? Am I going to take this on? Am I going to take that hit personally? Am I going to continue forward? And it sounds like you checked in with yourself, and you moved forward in a way that felt like the best integrity for you.
Yeah. So I released myself from some of that, like, perfectionism or something like that. And that's the only way to get it right, is to do it 100%. And I think there's just so much more to this than, achieving these goals that I set for myself every day with like such stringency. And even that, like, I don't really see myself as a perfectionist, but that I had to look that one in the mirror too. Oh, and I'll say one more thing, and I'm sorry to take up so much time. This is the very first time that I've done something with setting goals that had anything to do with food, that did not, have a weight loss component to it. Now, I would be lying if I said I wasn't hoping that I was going to lose some weight doing these things. And I really had to struggle with that, because I've probably put on weight. And, that's been a thing my entire life, and a big source of insecurity for me, related to my weight. And so to stick with the things that were related to food and nutrition and exercise, regardless of not getting that sort of, side benefit that I, secretly hoped that's what it was going to lead to, and it did not. But sticking with them anyway, and not, kind of going down that rabbit hole, I think was, yeah. So that was another big learning. So maybe I'll give myself 87% now that I added that in.
Ooh. So how do you feel about the fact that you did that and you didn't lose weight? You maybe gained weight.
I feel all kinds of things about it, but the fact that I'm even able to talk about it is kind of a big deal. Rather than just shaming myself and hiding myself and, doing all of that. So, yeah, I feel that doesn't go away overnight. Like, that's just been a lifetime of that battle. And, yeah, but,
What's it like to share that now with all of us, to say it out loud?
It's still a little, it still brings up a little, I don't know, anxiety or something to talk about it. But I think what I'm realizing a little bit more with each day, and, each of these challenges, is that, I'm understanding more the cost of keeping myself small and staying quiet, and, doing that and it's the constraint of that is starting to feel worse than the kind of nervousness or insecurity that comes up with like revealing myself or exposing myself. So that's starting to feel worse. So the balance is changing.
I love that.
Yeah.
The winds are changing.
Yeah.
The winds of change.
Mm.
Great. Well, I'm glad that you shared that with us. Yeah. Would you like to go next, Kristen?
Catherine?
Hey. Payback, right? Hey, and I've struggled with the weight all my life too. And then I look back those years when I thought I was fat, and I'm like, man, I looked good. If only I looked like that now. But yeah, it's continuous. But to get on the mine, I would say I'm the worst so far. I would really have to say like 75% when I averaged out each of the 6 categories. 75%. I did really good with like my hydration, so that was good, and that really, I don't think that that's really ever been an issue with me with the hydration, so that was kind of easy for me to do. The movement, since I didn't set my goal super high with that so that I would be able to meet it, that made that easier. I didn't set like an hour goal, you know. I just did the 30 minutes. But I should have, I guess you you probably don't want me to go over each thing, right? Just basically just
You can if you want to. Maybe just focus on the things that are most significant to you and why it's significant, what's so significant about it.
I don't know if there's like any particular thing that's like significant per se. I liked having, like I shared before, I liked having the goals to give me something to work towards, things that I think really I kind of need to have in my life probably every day, you know? And so being able to work towards those, hopefully that'll be something that I will remember that these are daily things that really I want to do on a regular basis. I may not get them obviously done every day like I didn't with this, but they are things that I need to do. I'm not like Kristen had mentioned at the beginning. Kristen, I'm trying to think what you said as far as oh gosh, what was the word you said? Like, I can't remember the word you said, but it was me because I'm not like that. That's like some people are really good at just they can work from home and it's all good. I need structure. I'm not good with structure. So for me, it's good that I have to be someplace, by 8:45 in the morning. I know. So I have to be out of bed at this time and da 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 da. Versus if I stayed home, that would be a different story. I feel tired this morning. I think I'll sleep late. You know what I mean? I think I'll stay in my PJs all day. I don't think I'll wash my hair all week. I'll just keep it up in a bun. I would do those kinds of things. So I'm better with structure. So by putting this down on paper and trying to do these things every day for a month helped me to better have a structure in other areas, not just getting up in the morning and going to work and coming home. Having these other um goals in my life kind of gave me other structure that needed to be there other than just go to work, come home, do nothing. It's like, okay, these are things that I need to do every day, that I should do every day, that puts more structure in my life. So hopefully
Yeah, that's
I'll
great.
continue with that.
Yeah. So what are the things or the thing that um you said these are things that should be part of my life?
Well, I should definitely, especially as I'm getting older, I should definitely get movement of some sort in my life every day, whether it's well,
What
it's just
about the should things that didn't get done? I think you were saying some of the things that didn't get done that
well, the nutrition part, I didn't I have a really bad habit of coming home from work and I will eat crap.
Mhm,
It's not super, super crappy all the time.
mhm,
But, I like cheese and crackers or hummus and crackers or um or crackers dipped in Greek yogurt. But I try to get the healthier crackers, maybe they're made out of almond flour or you know what I mean?
mhm,
So it's rather than, okay, eating a protein, eating my vegetables, eating my fruits, because in my mind, as I'm sitting on the couch in front of the TV, being lazy after work, right? Eating crap, getting all these calories in that are probably a lot more than I would have gotten in had I eaten healthy the way I should have.
mhm,
Then I think to myself, oh, great, I've already put all these calories in me now. Now I can't eat healthy like I was supposed to, the fruits and the vegetables. So that's really where if I have more structure in my life and I plan out, this is what I'm going to eat this week, and maybe meal prep, which I go back and forth on that. I'll do it for a couple weeks and then I won't do it. And then I start eating like this again, crappy food when I come home. So that's why it was good having this class because now I'm not coming home eating crappy food.
You haven't been?
Generally not when we have this class. No.
Oh, the nights that we have class.
Yeah. Yeah, the nights we have class.
Got it.
So that is
Oh,
definitely an area that I really need to work on so that I'm eating the way I should for the health of my body
mhm.
instead of putting whatever
Got it.
ingredients are in these things I'm putting in my body, right? That probably aren't healthy.
Mhm.
Um, with creative my creativeness, I use that with working on something in a house that generally ended up being in my bedroom. My bedroom or my kitchen. And I didn't do very good at getting that in. That was probably like 60%, but then other things were higher, so that's why it averaged out. But I really need to do that um more. So yeah, those were probably my weakest things were the creativity, which, like I said, I chose to organize an area in my house, and the nutrition. Both of those things are very important because it just brings stress on, which isn't healthy for me. If I've got a messy closet, I've got clothes all over the bed in the guest bedroom that nobody could even use if they wanted to use it because, it's messy. My basement, needs to be organized. So those are like really three areas that, yeah, I really need to work on. And if I did 15 minutes every day, I would definitely make a dent in it.
So, yeah, it'd be interesting what would happen if you did do 15 minutes every day.
Yeah.
Maybe you make a new goal now that you don't have, all the other things. Maybe you make a new goal. Yeah. Or keep going like Tiffany. Tiffany's like, no, I'm still going to. Tiffany's on day 13, and she said, no, I'm still going. I'm still going to make it to 30.
Good job, Tiffany.
Yep.
That's going to make you feel proud of yourself.
You are so right. It is going to make me feel proud of myself. And I have that bed full of clothes in my guest bedroom too. So I'm right there with you.
Yeah, if I were to pan my camera here, you would see my little storage area here in my office. Yeah. I did do some office organizing just the other day. Okay, great. What about you, Vanessa?
Sorry, right at the tail end, I decided to move because it was cold where I was at. And my granddaughter has decided that she's part of the class too. She decided that.
Oh.
No, monster. Down. No, not Overmore. Down. Oh, mother of God. Okay. Guess we're doing this right now. Okay. Sorry. I'm not even.
So yeah.
I've kind of like gone back and forth because even though I know I have completed days, but I've not been keeping terribly close track. It's usually been, if I had a failure, it was by one thing, like every day. And it's made me more aware of, oh, good, she's gone. I can put my feet. I think it was mostly like between time management. Oh God. And time management and just keeping my awareness to the goals themselves. That's always been, it's been frequently a challenge for me. Just not necessarily, I'm just not doing something because I don't want to do it. It's more of like just remembering that I have something to do, keeping that on the forefront of my mind. So, during that, I have created new tactics like my medication I have to take. I have surprisingly been really good at that. And my entire life, whether it was my medication or my kids' medication, I absolutely sucked at it. Because again, just remembering things, with ADHD, one of the things is just not being, routines aren't easy to do and they don't come naturally. But keeping things at the point of, there's a content creator that was point of performance. So my medication is right next to my faucet on my bathroom sink. It's right there. So it's easy for me to see it and think about it whenever I get up in the morning or whatever. And so I've had to start doing that with myself. If I want to take something with me to work, I would put it in my lunchbox, not just next to it, because next to it isn't necessarily going to make it out the door with me. Putting it in my box, it will walk out the door with me. Or, doing those things as I'm remembering it versus making a mind note and saying, oh, I need to remember this later. I'm not going to remember this later. So it's really just kind of being true to myself and what I'm capable of, or what's going to make me more capable to get the things done. And I will say, and this is kind of a bummer to me, honestly, the one thing that would be most forgotten was the creativity portion. And that is something that I have really wanted to make more prevalent in my life. It's just been really, for me, it's been very difficult carving out that time to do fun things or to feel like I've done enough throughout the day to warrant me being able to do a fun thing. Because it's not just a matter of sitting down and doing the fun thing, it's a matter of preparing the space for it, creating the time, making sure that the environment is good, and then figuring out what I'm going to do doing the thing, then cleaning up after doing the thing. And, it's a process. It's a big process. Although, while I was like waiting for class to start and whatnot, I was doing a lot of doodling. I can't remember the last time I doodled. So my creativity 15 minutes is done for the day. But no, that was the hardest part. And that is something I really want to stop neglecting for sure. So that is, I'll put that more on the forefront of my brain in some way to figure out a way to make that a visible cue to make sure I do. As far as the percentage, I don't know. I mean, I had 50% down. I don't know if I'm being too hypercritical, but I know I didn't fully complete most days. And I'm content with 50% because I did come away with some things. Yeah. I have came away with some tools and some awarenesses, and there are things I did do, like even just being more in tune with my body and because I work overnight. I don't know if I've mentioned this before. I work overnight. I do Uber and Lyft and ride share, and there's not a lot of places that I can stop and eat. And carrying around a refrigerated thing in my car for 8 hours isn't great either. So trying to find things to eat on the road is very difficult. It's been a challenge for me forever. And I honestly, at this point, would rather hit the carbs than gluten because I know what gluten will do to me and how bad it feels. And my body's been pretty forgiving. Like, I've also not been abusing that, been very, still conscious of not wanting to spike my blood sugar. But yeah, it's felt, if I've had any major spikes or anything like that, that has not been as disturbing as what gluten will do to my full body. So yeah, that's a just creating again that awareness of myself has been a big benefit to this. So yeah.
Great. Awesome. So I'll take a breath. I want to congratulate all of you and everything that you have accomplished. Whatever that percentage is, it's an accomplishment to be proud of and to be grateful to yourself for. That you showed up for yourself in the ways that you have. And even coming to class twice a week, spending 5 to 6 hours every week, coming to class, watching videos, doing homework. A lot of people don't make it. They drop out and you're still here. You're still here, showing up for yourself. So congratulations. Yeah. So I want to invite you to close your eyes and drop in with yourself. Notice what your experience of yourself is right now. Experience your experience of yourself. What's happening right now? As you experience yourself in this moment. I want you to bring your attention to your head. Feel into the top of your head. Notice if there's any tightness there. Just welcome whatever is there. Now see if there's any tightness or tension, if you can let that go. Bring softening, relaxing. See if you can bring some more openness as you bring your attention down through the top of your head, your forehead. As you come to your third eye area that's there in the middle of your forehead between your eyebrows, and the space inside your head right in the middle. See if you can get a sense of widening and broadening the space between your eyebrows so that it feels like there's an openness, a stretching that's happening there in the forehead area between your eyebrows. Widening, broadening, softening. We're all aware of 11 lines. Maybe it even feels like those are being stretched out. As that space between your eyebrows broadens even more, opens even more. Take a nice breath in and let it flow out. Another deep breath in and let it flow. Allow the muscles and nerves that are in and around your eyes to let go, let loose. It might feel that your eyes are rolling back into your head or melting into your skull as all of the muscles and nerves around your eyes soften and let go. Let your cheeks and cheekbones relax. And feel your lower teeth move away from your upper teeth as the jaw loosens. And become aware of your whole head. And see if you can find some more opening. So it feels like there's stretching and opening happening throughout your head. So instead of things contracting, they're broadening and opening. And breathe into that. Bring your attention down to your throat. Notice what's happening there right now. And can you let go through the throat? Just a little bit. 1%. Another 1%. Feeling those muscles in and around the throat, relaxing, softening, letting go. And can you go another level deep into the throat? And another level. And can you create some opening in your throat? Create a sense of opening and expansion in your throat. Feeling the jaw relax. The shoulders relax. And let your awareness move down to your rib cage, your chest, your heart. Notice what happens as you place your attention here. And if there's any tension or tightness, can you breathe in and create more openness and expansion in your chest, your heart? And go another layer deep. And another layer deep into your heart. You can open your heart just a little bit. And can you open it just a little bit more? And as you open your heart, feel more softness. Feeling release and relief. And can you let go even more? Don't pay attention to anything you hear. Feel what's happening in your heart now. Deep breath into your heart. Feel it expand even more. And feel the love, compassion, gratitude of the heart. Let this gratitude surface. And extend that gratitude to yourself. It might feel like being proud of yourself for everything that you've done for yourself. To permission yourself to give to yourself the ways that you've relaxed the strictness on yourself, or perhaps the ways that you created more structure, more commitment. These gifts that you've given to yourself the past 30 days. Thank yourself. Thank you. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for showing up for me. Feel the corners of your mouth rise up just a little bit. A little smile. And bask in this gratitude for all that you've done to show up for yourself, to give to yourself, the ways that you've leaned into your worth, your deservingness. The ways that you've opened up and grown. The ways you've challenged yourself to be with things that are uncomfortable, and also to let things go. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for showing up, giving to me, giving to myself. Take another deep breath. That's it. Now bring your attention down to your solar plexus, that space above your navel, but below your heart. And notice what it feels like here. This area of your will. Your identity. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the ways you've shown up. The new parts of your identity that have unfolded, that have been made known to you. The things that are clear that you want to create. The things that are clear about who you are. And bring softness and openness. And go another layer deep. See if you can open up here even more. And let go of anything that no longer serves. Bring your attention down to your sacral chakra, below the navel, down to the pelvis, your creative center, your sexual center, where you can bring your vision from your upper chakras down to be created through your will, through your willingness. That's right. Your willingness, through your courage. Breathe in to this area. Open, expand. Go another layer deep. Create softening and opening, relaxation. As you connect to your creative center, this part that gives birth to your visions and ideas, your intentions. And now bring your focus down to your root chakra. This is the area there at the base of your tailbone, your perineum. This is your base, your root, the place where you hold steady, safe, secure. This includes your legs. Feel the energy or your awareness go down your legs, down to your feet, and feel your connection with the earth. Growing roots through your feet or through your tailbone, down to the core of the earth. The earth that is strong and stable, that's nurturing and supportive. The earth who provides. All the sustenance. The nurturing, the provision. Feel this. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the support. For the safety that's here right now. And breathe down into your root center. Feeling expansion and softening. Feeling your feet firmly on the floor or your glutes on your chair. I want you to feel energy from the earth rising up. Rising up your legs to your hips and coming up the back body. It's rising up the spine now. Notice what happens to your posture as you're feeling the steadiness of the earth rising up, filling you up, coming all the way up the spine, the mid spine, the upper spine and back and shoulders to your neck. Feel the opening and expansion as it's rising and comes up through the back of your head, through that brain stem, up to the top of your head. Envision light cascading down over you from the heavens. That light is cascading down over your crown, and now that energy with this universal light of spirit, of God, source. This is source energy. This is the light of consciousness, the light of God, the light of spirit, cascading down. And feel that coming down over your forehead to your third eye, mixing and mingling with this openness that's in your third eye now. This is the place of vision, of intuition. And now, source energy is now feeding your vision for yourself, for your life, for the world. You don't have to know what that is, just know that it's happening. Your vision, your intuition is informed by source, by God, by supportive, ascended beings and masters, angels, guides, ancestors, the highest and greatest light. Feel that energy now moving down your face. Again, feeling that softening and openness through your face and jaw to your throat chakra, your throat center. This light and vision and intuition coming to your throat so that everything that you speak might be aligned with the highest and greatest good, the win-win for you, for others, for all, and for the world. So that your ears that are connected to your throat chakra listen with curiosity so that you may understand on deeper levels. Listening to the voice of spirit moving through your life, informing you guidingly, gently. All those gentle nudges. So that you might connect deeper with those around you. As you listen and also share your voice, express your truth, express your vision, express your feelings. Allow anything to move out of this throat area that no longer serves. You can move it out through the heart or through the breath. Let it go. There you go. That's it. That's it. Feel even more softening and openness in your throat now. There you go. That light, that energy now moves down to your chest, your heart. Breathe that in. Allowing the light of spirit, of your vision, of your expression to penetrate deep into your heart. Breathe that in. And let go of what no longer serves. Breathe in again. Letting go. Your heart is the portal for receiving and transmitting energy. Notice as you open your heart, what you feel around your heart, outside of your body. Feel into the area in front of your chest, behind you, side to side. And as your heart opens even more, it allows for more love, more beauty, more compassion. Compassion for yourself, compassion for others, and compassion being directed to you from others. This compassion is understanding, acceptance. How much in this moment can you accept? What is being called forth for you to accept right now? Accepting is not a lowering of needed standards. It's a form of surrender, of allowing things to be exactly as they are and being okay with that. And adjusting yourself accordingly. That could mean relationships change as you accept people as they are, and you accept your needs. Notice what may be coming up to be let go of. If there's any fear, any resistance, just be with that. No need to change it. No need to transmute it. You allow it. Can you permission whatever is here to be here? And now can you let that go just a little bit? Just 1%. You don't need to have answers. You don't have to know. And you can create more softening, more letting go, allowing it to be. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for these awarenesses. Bring your attention now to your belly. That light is flowing down through your belly. You're now bringing this vision, this will, this energy of spirit down to your belly, your willingness to take inspired action, to step into this vision of yourself, whatever identity that might be wanting to be revealed, wants, desires. Combining that now with the lower chakra, your creative chakra, let that move down. Bring your creativity, your flow to the expression through your willingness, your desire, the gratitude for this vision that's coming through. And now to your root, the courage to continue to move forward. The gratitude for the courage that's already been activated this past month. Feeling that down your legs, to your feet, to the ground. Feeling that light, seeing that light moving from your crown all the way down, going into the earth, rooting in this vision, rooting in this energy, this gratitude, this love, this strength, the courage, the acceptance, the forgiveness, the passion, the joy, rooting it into the earth, planting that seed all the way into the core of the earth. And now feel that energy coming up through the earth, up your legs, up your back body, through the spine, through the neck, through the head, and then circling back through the front of your body, through your forehead, through your mouth, your tongue, your throat, your chest, your belly, your low belly, your root, down through your feet, up through your feet, up the spine, through the top of your head, this microcosmic orbit of energy circulating and circling through your body. Combining heaven and earth through this portal, this vessel, this open channel through you. This channel combining heaven and earth. You are the channel. And it comes forth through your expression, through your vision, through your words, through your creativity, through your will, through your identity, through your ego, through your willingness, through your courage, through your gratitude, through your heart and your love, through your breath. You're the channel for the divine feminine that is ready to bloom here on earth. The divine feminine that is ready to let go of the shackles and fully express and engage in her power. That's right. You might be feeling some little movements in the body, some undulating of the spine. Allow that. There you go. That's right. Permission that. Give yourself that permission to be this channel, united with your uniqueness for this unique and beautiful and perfect expression of the divine feminine. Right here, right now. Here you go. And any masculine that feels like it needs to come online, allow that masculine to come on. The masculine is that structure, that drive, the stick-to-itness, the I can do it, the fuck yeah. I'm gonna own this bitch. I'm gonna slap it, make it mine. Any of that need to come online? Allow that to come online as well. See it light up and mix and merge with this feminine, which is the softening, the allowing. And the feminine is really chaos because it has no structure, but the masculine provides the structure, the container. Feel those energies aligning, mixing, finding that perfect balance for you. Notice if any disempowering thoughts have come in. Be with that and see if you can let it go. There you go. Let's take one final breath, anchor this in. Let out a sigh. And bring some movement to your body. And let's take a quick break. Let's come back. Is 6 minutes okay, or do you need longer? 6 minutes. Good. So we'll come back at the half hour. See you then. Ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. La 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 la. Oh. La 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 la. Oh. Ooh. I'd love to hear how that was for you. If anyone wants to share.
I kept getting distracted, so I had a little bit of a hard time staying with it. Um, and I was feeling a little stiff, so
Mm.
I I had to keep adjusting and moving. So I think that was the reason why I was having a hard time sticking with it.
Yeah. It's completely normal to get distracted. That's what the mind does. That's why I don't know if you meditate, but it's usually easier for people to start meditating, doing guided meditations, because it gives us something to like hook onto. And a lot of people stop meditating because they're not able to stop their minds. And the fact is, we're not going to be able to stop our minds. That's what our minds do. Our minds come in and they think about the to-do list and the this and the that. And so that's a normal part of meditation, is for the thoughts to come in. And with pure meditation, we notice the thoughts and we just let them go. And we want to do it with compassion, not without noticing if we're like judging ourselves or shaming ourselves. We want to just like gently let it go. And then in more of what I've been teaching you all, it's more about, oh look, I'm noticing what's here and allowing that to be there, and then let it go. And then see what's arising next. Yeah. And so the things I've been teaching you haven't been straight meditation. And it's more like, okay, meditation is great. Like I said, I definitely need meditation, straight up meditation in my life. But also, let's then use that space to do something with, to communicate with the unconscious mind, to get information, to do loving redirection, to process things that want to come up, rather than just putting it aside and letting it go. Okay, let's process this. Now you have techniques so that you can process those emotions and then come back to a meditative state, and then see what comes up and work with that, and then come back to this clear open space. Yeah, but it's completely normal for the mind to go and wander. Anyone else's mind wander? Yeah. Yep. That's what the mind does. I don't know why my hand keeps going up. Said that last time too. Anyone else want to share what that was like for them? Okay, if not. All right. So That was a introduction to our chakra system, and just how body energy can flow through the body. So I want you to keep in mind, most spiritual texts have been written and edited by men. And so, and everyone's different. And I've heard that for women, that the flow of energy, like I took you all through the microcosmic orbit, the energy coming down through the front of the body, down through the root. If your legs were crossed, if your legs are ever crossed, it's down through the bottom, the base of the tailbone, and then back up, right? And you might feel it going the opposite direction, up and back. I tend to feel it more just up, straight up and down my spine, not in any particular direction. And it's not always the same, but I just kind of feel movement up and down the spine. Kristen, I noticed you kind of, I don't know if you notice it, this like undulation where it's like little circles. That'll happen with me often if I, get into a really like juicy place, and just allowing that spiraling to happen, and it'll like unravel if I keep with it, and I'm not trying to make it happen. I'm just allowing, it'll like unravel a lot of stuff. Yeah. And that can also be looked at as energies that move up the spine. You have the Ida, you have 3 channels that move up the spine. You have the Ida, the Pitta, and it's been a while since I've taught this. The Pingula, I think it's the Pingula, no, the Sushumna. The Sushumna is the main channel. And then I believe the Ida, am I saying it right? Ida is the right, and the Pendula, I'm not saying these right, is the left channel. One's masculine, one's feminine. And they essentially look like DNA. So if you've seen the Caldicus, when you look at the American Medical Association, the symbol for the American Medical Association, it looks like DNA coming up with wings on it. And that's actually an esoteric, that's esoteric symbology that's present in mystical Christianity as well, Catherine. It's called the, I forget what it's called in mystical Christianity, but the wings take place up here at the base of the skull, is it sphenoid bone here at the base of the sky, where they like chiropractors adjust that, and it releases like the nectar of the gods, the cerebral spinal fluid that comes down. But those wings, if you look at our skull, it looks like the bone that's there at the base of the skull, and that is the back entrance of the third eye. So the third eye is here, and then the back entrance is back here, right there at the base of the skull. And then we have our pineal gland, which is right in the middle of our skull. So if you go from the ears, go right in, go from the center, right in the middle is the pineal gland, which is looks like a pine cone. And it's this little gland, and it tends to be, as adults, it tends to be calcified. And so when we activate it, we can decalcify it. It is also thought that fluoride calcifies it, and that fluoride it is like a mind controlling substance. And so to not have fluoride, to make sure that you're filtering your water, to not have fluoride toothpaste. The idea is I don't know if there's any truth to it. But fluoride was used as a mind control agent. That is factual, by the Nazis in the I'm not saying it right. Entrainment camps, internment camps. The internment camps. And all of the experimentation that they did, they used fluoride for that reasons. And people argue that, it's the amount that they just use massive amounts versus the small amount that's in the water and in the toothpaste and stuff like that. But anyway, so when we do things to decalcify and activate our pineal gland, that's where we can tap into our intuition, even psychic abilities, and get a lot more clarity. And so the third eye is connected to that, both here at the base of the spine, right here in the forehead, and the pineal gland in the middle. And what's interesting about the pineal gland is this pine cone shape. When you start looking for it, you'll see it a lot of places, and you see it at the Vatican. That pine cone shape there's a statue right in the middle of the Vatican with a big pine cone. There's pine cone on the Pope's staff. So this pine cone imagery, the knowledge of this, you see in a lot of different spiritual traditions. So I'm a universalist, where I see like the truth, the thread that is in all of the religions. And so, yeah. Another thing is, let me do this first. So let me do it here. Let me ask you this. What is this? What is that?
Circle.
Circle. Mm-hmm. But what is that? What does that symbolize? I can't hear you, Kat.
The sun, the moon. I don't know. It's a circle. The sun is round. The moon
It could be
can
sun,
be round if it's
moon.
full.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it could be. It's not. I mean, it kind of is.
With the earth, continuation, infinity.
Part of it. The sun, moon, earth, it's part of it.
Universe.
The universe is part of it.
Pancake?
How do you know? Pancake's part of it too. This is wholeness.
Okay.
This is wholeness. And so when I do this, what did I just do? I don't like that there's a line there that's bothering me. I'll accept it. I'll let it go. So what did I just do now to the wholeness?
Divided it?
Yeah. I divided it. We now have contrast. We have, if I were to color this in, let me do this first. If I were to color this in, and color this in, I now have light and I have dark. Let there be light. First there was darkness, let there be light. Now we have the world of form. The wholeness was the allness of everything. The allness of everything. Without contrast, it's just like space. just like darkness. There's no beginning, there is no end. You could call wholeness God. It's infinite. It's infinite potential, infinite energy, infinite wisdom, infinite love, infinite abundance. And now we just created contrast. We separated it between light and dark, masculine, feminine, yin, yang. And as you see, even in the light, there's a little bit of the dark. And even in the dark, there's a little bit of the light. And the polarity of the two, the contrast, is held together by the wholeness of it all. So I believe there's only one God, there's one power, one source of everything that exists. There's only one. And we can look out at the world and we can see separation, we can see division, we can see us and them, we can see othering. We see things that look solid, right? This looks solid. Yet if we look at it on a strong enough microscope, we see that it's not solid at all. It's just space. And yet it has the appearance of solidness. There's contrast. And so this world that we live in now is about contrast. Yet, so things look separate, things look different, things look disconnected, yet there's only one. We're all connected. We're all the same stuff. We're made out of the same substance. And so, this is the basis of energy work. Basis of energy work is the presupposition that there is only one behind everything. And when my first like big certification or license that I got, it was a 4-year program, and it was coaching through the spiritual lens of there's only one. And so any problem, any challenge, anything that we want to see different, to experience differently, where we want to use our power of intention to change things, we can do that because of our connection to the one. And we're not even just connected to it, we are it. We are it. Since there's only one, everything that the one is also us. So the infinite wisdom, the infinite power, the infinite love, the infinite possibility, the infinite abundance, that's also us, if there's only one. And all of the major religions talk to this oneness. Even Hinduism, that is considered to be to have multiple gods, they still only believe in one. But each of the gods, Lakshmi, Krishna, Shakti, all of these gods are they are variations of the one. They are certain essences of the one. They all represent something in particular. Right? So we got Father, Son, Holy Spirit, the Trinity. It's all a part of the one. And so when I'm able to utilize my intention, I sync it up with the power of the one. So that's why I'm not making something happen. It's already here right now. So it's about acknowledging that whatever it is that I want is here right now. And we practice that on our last class of being love right now, of being the vibration, the essence of what it is that we desire right now. And so it's this through the being that we create. And we can channel energy. So we can channel energy through ourselves, universal energy, towards things out there. And one of the reasons I wanted to make sure that we do energy work as a part of this course is because of the worry that we talked about in the last class. So what do I do with the worry? What do I do with the stress? Well, I can do energy work so that I can do something and then set it and forget it to allow me to let go. And so whether any of these energy techniques I'm going to teach you are true, whether it actually does anything, doesn't matter if it makes our world better, because it works. So I want to start off by getting you attuned to energy and what energy feels like. And so if you tap into your heart, go into your heart. And then I want you to take your hands and I want you to slap your hands together and start rubbing them together. Rub them. Get them nice and warmed up. Get a bunch of this static energy going on in here. And now stop, hold your hands 6 to 8 inches apart and just notice what you feel there in between your hands. You might close your eyes to feel it more, or you can keep it open. Do you feel tingling? Do you feel pulsating? Does it at all feel like energy is going from popping from one hand to the other? And now just bring your hands a little bit further apart, just nice and slow, and see if that energy or the sensation between your hands changes. And now bring it closer together again. Just play with that energy, moving your hands further away and then closer together. It might feel like magnets. You might feel more of that, like when you play with magnets, how they push and pull each other. You might feel more intensity as the hands get closer, or maybe you feel more intensity the further they get away. Maybe to feel that there's a difference when the hands are closer versus further apart. You might kind of do this kind of like bouncing thing where you're pressing in a little bit. And now just take your hands and put them real close to your face. Yeah. So they're like an inch from your face, maybe. And feel that energy, the heat on your face. You could move your hands up and down if you like, so you can feel that energy around your face, around the sides of your face. Maybe you take your hands up to your crown. Just notice what you feel. And now bring your hands in front of your heart. They can either be one in front of the other, one on top of the other, whatever feels good. It's floating an inch or 2 or 3 from your heart. And breathe into your heart. Imagine that you can flip a switch or turn a dial to intensify this energy. It's coming from your heart. Your heart's channeling it from the heavens and the earth. And as that energy intensifies, your hands might move further away. And then you might bring your hands closer to it. You might feel like there's a little bit of resistance, like there's some sort of substance there rather than just air. As your hands come further away and then come closer, you can feel a little something. Breathe. Just let your hands come all the way to your heart. Press in. Then you can rub your heart and your upper heart, your thymuses. Anywhere else that your hands want to go to maybe spread that energy around your body. Nice loving strokes. That's right. And then I'd love to hear what that was like for you.
I do energy body stuff like that a lot, but this one felt really good, simply because I didn't get to do it after my session. So to clear out and just release from that felt really nice.
Kristen, I don't know what your experience with energy work is like. How was that for you? Were you able to feel the energy?
Yeah, it was quite distinct. So it also felt really nourishing and really supportive. So I don't have a regular practice, but dabble here and there. So that's good.
Good. And what about you, Catherine?
I could feel the energy. It was surprising. You know, move your hands back and forth.
Yeah.
And the heat on the face.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's energy.
Mm.
You know? And so when you're worried about a person or a situation, so you just gave energy to yourself, right? When you're worried about a person or a situation, I want to invite you to do energy work on that person or the situation. And people have different thoughts about a couple things when it comes to energy work. Number one is that you need, in order to do energy work on someone, that you need the person's permission. And I think it's great to have permission. And also, what I personally believe is if that person, their higher self, wants that energy, they will receive it. If they don't want it, it'll go somewhere else. Right. And I also have a personal belief that if someone comes to my mind, that it's probably because they're wanting some energetic support, particularly if someone's a client and there's already context there that I can give energy work to them, right? And so I can tune in to my inner compass or tune into guides, higher self, their higher self, and ask if they'd be open to the energy work. And it's almost always yes. There's been times where I was giving energy work to someone, a friend of mine, that just went into what's the word I'm even looking for? It was there. Now it's not there. But she went into a bad state in 2020 and it just like escalated. She'd been managing bipolar for years and probably schizophrenia. And just ended up becoming really angry, pushing everyone away, friends, family, wouldn't, go to a hospital, and thought she was the world's greatest shaman, but was filled with hate. And so I would do energy work and I would get a strong no, like she would not receive it. And then I'd usually get some sort of hateful thing afterwards. So I mean, she was probably tapped into something, but no, she didn't want it. She didn't feel like she needed any help. And so that's one thing, the permissioning. The second piece is protection. So a lot of people think that if you're going to do any kind of energy work, that you need to protect yourself, put an energetic, and that's as easy as envisioning an energetic bubble around you, like an orb around you. I will sometimes do that. I was not taught to do that when I learned energy work. And also, I believe that what you believe makes a big difference. So if you believe that you need to protect yourself from negative energies that could come in, that you could take on, then do protection work. But otherwise, it almost is like I call it a form of spiritual germophobia. Like, oh, I'm going to pick up, other people's stuff. What I do is I just cut the cords and I clear my own energy field afterwards, much like you just did, like let me move and do that. So that is up to you how you want to do energy work. So I want to now show you what to do if you're worried about a person or a situation. And so if you want, you can go ahead and put a protective bubble around you right now. And so just imagine yourself in a bubble of energy, like an orb, or like your aura is extending outward from you. And this protective bubble or your aura, it's like a permeable shield. And so it's not like hard armor. It's like our cells, where it has neurotransmitters, where it can let the right things in, but it keeps the wrong stuff out. And so see, envision, feel this shield around you, and it allows the correct stuff in and out. So it can allow your heart energy to go out, but it can also protect your heart if you're in the field of someone that doesn't deserve, your heart energy, right? So this orb is protecting you, and install this in, so it's just here all the time. And I like to think of it as Iron Man, Tony Stark has these gloves where he can like has this geometric ball that he can move in and out. And there was a toy that my kids had where it's this geometric ball. It goes in and out, right? I see geometries like that, where it looks like a geodesic dome, two geodesic domes on top of one another, and then it can expand and contract, right? And so this ball of energy around it looks like a dandelion. A dandelion has these geometrics in it, right? So an orb, and it can expand outward, and then I can also contract it in when I want to feel more safe and secure, right? And now that it's installed, it's just there all the time, right? And if you ever feel the need to invoke it just for the sake of it, you can invoke it. And so this is something that I'll do also if I see an accident on the side of the road, right? I'll direct energy that way, and I'll just put like a protective ball of light around people, knowing that they're getting whatever it is that they need. They're on their path, but that energy is there if they need it. And I want to be clear that this energy is not coming from ourselves. So it's not depleting us. We're the channel for this energy to come through. And so if it ever feels like you're forcing something to happen, then just back off and don't, you just stop or start again, because it's not about forcing anything. It's about allowing that movement of the energy to come through. Just like when you did this, you weren't forcing it, you were just noticing it, and you were allowing. Right. All right. So think of a person that you're worried about. Maybe not currently, but maybe someone that you have worried about, or a situation you've worried about. It could be a situation happening in the world. Just drop in. And so one thing that you want to be aware of is your own energy. And so just put that, whatever, just for a second, put that person or that situation to the side. We already did our own energy work, but just connect in, notice what's here now, just in your own energy field. Scan your body, notice if there's any tension, tightness, colors, anything like that. And now just let those things go, set those things aside. You can pick them up later if you want. And now bring that person or situation to mind again. And so one of the first things you can do is notice what you feel in your body when you think about this person or this situation. And consider that this could be your own stuff that's coming up in response to it, or it could also be that you're picking up on the other person. So you could be feeling what another person is feeling. So empaths feel what other people are feeling, right? And so I'm going to take you through some different things, and these are pieces, and you can use any one of these pieces. You don't have to do all of this. These are all little pieces of things that you can do anytime you find yourself in worry or concern or fear. Okay. So your thinking, envisioning, feeling this person, you notice what you feel inside. And so one thing you can do is you can do that clearing process on yourself again on behalf of the other person. Right? So I'm going to feel that release process. I'm going to feel into it. I'm going to welcome it. And now can I let this go? And up until now, I haven't told you specific ways to let it go. I've just been letting your own wisdom decide, how do I let go? How do I soften into this? And so one way that you can let it go is you can let it go out through your feet to the earth. Right? So I want you to envision whatever it is, the fear, the worry, anything that you're noticing, let it move out through you and into the earth, because the earth knows what to do with it. She knows what to do with it. And in fact, the things that we no longer need actually nourish the earth. So what carbon dioxide becomes toxic for us. But if we exhale and let it out, that then feeds the earth. It feeds all the plants and the trees. And that creates oxygen that we then take in. So as you let go and let it go to the earth, know that the earth can transmute it and it can actually use it for fuel. She knows what to do with it. And how do you feel? How do you feel just doing that? Letting it go to the earth. You feel a change? Great. And so now, you can work with the same person if you feel like there's something there, or the same situation. Or if there's going to be a new person, I want you to go ahead and cut cords, right? If you're working with something new, cut cords. And so take your hand like a knife, right? And well, you can take your hand from above you to below you, and then just like you're gathering cords, like you're gathering stuff, just pull them together here at your navel, here at your solar plexus. So like you're holding onto the cords now, like you're holding a bunch of balloons or something. And now take your hand and you're going to karate chop 3 times. Shook, shook, shook. And then take your hands like it's sticky. And imagine if you have a salt lamp, that's great. Like I have a salt lamp back here. You can do this toward a salt lamp or a fire. But if you don't, just imagine a flame, a purple or green flame, and flick that energy to the flame like that. Like there's something sticky on your hands and you're getting it off. And then you can channel that to the flame, to the salt lamp. And then if there's anything else, you don't have to do this now since we're going to do something else, but this is you're just taking it to the flame. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So now either think of that same situation or person or another one. Notice how you feel now. And now you can turn your hands out. There's chakras, like we went through the 7 major chakras in the body, but there's lots of chakras in our hands, lots of energy centers in the palm and the fingers. And allow energy to move from your heart out through your hands and direct that energy towards that person or that situation. And it can be like just like this, or you might move your hands. Like my hand, one of my hand tends to come up above me, like it's a light shining down on the person or the situation, like there's a spotlight going out. But just notice if your hands want to do anything. I also, when my hands are like this, it's like they're on the edges of one of those energy balls, right? One of those balls that you can expand and contract. That's what it looks like for me. And I can see this person in the energy ball. I could even have my hands like this And this is the energy ball, and the person or the situation is inside this energy ball. And so I direct this energy into here. Now, as you're doing this, I'll talk to you. I didn't tell you this ahead of time. You want to make sure this is clean energy. So what do I mean by that? Often, so think of this like prayer. This is essentially the same as prayer. And there's scientific studies that show that prayer works. With prayer, though, it's what I want for the other person. So here, let's just go ahead and I don't want you to keep your hands up. So let's just see the situation, take away any thoughts or desires that you want for the person, but just let energy do its work. It's not what you want for them. It's just let energy do its work. Breathe into it. And now lift that ball, and it's basically like the orb you put around yourself, whatever it looks like, and just let that go like a helium balloon. And you might give it a little push, you might blow, but just like let that go and know that you've done the work. You've got that protective energy around them. They're protected, they're taken care of, and you can let go of any fear, worry, anything that you had. All of that is gone because you're trusting, you're knowing that it is done. It's done. Everything that can be done is done. So you can let go. So when we did that process, what can I do? This is something you can do. And then you can let it go. Know that it's done. Let it go. Let it go. So to go back to this idea of clean energy. Oh my gosh, I'm just realizing what time it is. I had no clue. Do you all need to go? You need to go?
Soon. I can do like I can go until 10:30.
Okay. Well, 9:30 for you, Catherine and Tiffany. I totally, time has gotten away from me. Yeah, now that we're doing energy work, like my own energy has like come back online. I was doing a lot of energy work for myself today because a lot of physical pain I was having in my body, nerve pain. Okay, so clean energy. Very often when we pray for someone or we do energy work, it's coming from a place of worry. It's coming from a place of fear. It's coming from a place of what we want for them versus what they want for themselves. So we either want to be completely neutral about it because we already took our stuff, put it aside, right? As much as we could. When I wake up in the middle of the night worrying about my son, my middle child, like it's very hard to put my stuff aside, right? And so what makes it easier for me is for me to tap into energy and just send a bunch of just let all that energy go, put the protective ball and just let it go, right? And so it's not what you want for them. So you're either letting universal energy come in, neutral, let it do its thing, or you can, here's the second piece. And this is called seeing them in their frail. This comes from reality transurfing. So if you can get people to like you this way as well, right? If there's some sort of conflict, if you work with someone and you're not getting along, see them in their frail, which means see them having what they want. And so you can bring up like a screen, a movie screen in your mind, and you can see them having exactly what it is that they want. And then feel it in your body. knowing that it's so. So you're feeling them having the love and the connection and the prosperity, the abundance, the success, the things that they want. And one thing to note, particularly if you don't know what they want, is what are things that are universal, right? So when you're having clean energy, you can see them having that love, that connection, the abundance, because those are things that we universally want. If you start zooming in and getting too specific, I want them to get their life together. I want them to have a spiritual connection. I want them to get a better job. That's what you want, not what they want. And so then it's not clean energy. Right. And so seeing them in their frail, and then you can just get into this practice more and more of just seeing people having exactly what they want. And then when you relate to someone, sometimes we see them for the things that they're lacking. Instead, we can see them and relate to them from that place of being this higher version of themselves. And that makes a really big difference, right? Because we're not buying into this limited idea, because our thoughts matter. There's only one. So what we're putting out there makes a difference. Our vision matters. And so, how can I clean that up? And then if there's a situation, we can see that screen of the mind again. And one thing you can do, and you can get away from this in the future, is in black and white, you can see on that screen the problem, how it is. So you see you and this other person with their arms crossed, their backs are turned to each other, and neither one of them wants to talk to the other. They want the other person to say something, to forgive. There's conflict there. So that's what is. And then you can clear the screen, even see that screen go up. And then another screen comes down, like a colorful screen that maybe has like bright Vegas lights around it. And then the new thing being flashed upon that screen in color is the desired outcome. The two of you are turned towards each other and you're embraced in a hug. Right? You're loving each other. You're softening, you're apologizing to each other. You're interlinking arms and skipping off into the sunset together. You're going on a vacation together, whatever that is. And again, you want to feel it, not just see it. Feel it. And then know that it is done. Know that it's so. And if you ever don't feel like it's so, then you can do it again the next day and the next day, the next day. That you want to get to a place where you know that it's already done and you can let it go. And again, you could put it in that energy ball or however you want to do that. You can let that go. You can let it go out through your feet. You can move it up and out through your heart. For me, the energy ball, like the heart, feels into that. And let those go. At any time you just think of someone, you can just put your hand up, direct some energy that way, and then you can let it go. Cut those cords, let it go. Yeah. So what comes up for you around all of this? What do you like? What do you love? How do you see yourself working with this? Any questions?
No, not really. I wasn't familiar with this, so it will be interesting when I do come across something in particular, and then I remember to try these
Mhm.
things.
Yep. And it can be anything, because how many times do you go to stress, worry, anxiety throughout your day? How many times are you in stress, worry, anxiety? So you can tune in, direct energy toward it. Like, is there anything I can do about this? You do that process the other day. And particularly when there's really nothing that you can do or nothing there's willing to do, I'm going to send energy to it. I'm going to surrender it to God. I'm going to surrender it to source and let source take care of it. And I'm going to let it go so that I can come back to a higher vibrational state. Yeah. I don't,
So
I
if
don't
you can't do anything, you what? What was that you said?
So I don't so that I don't have to carry it, right? Because if it's bothering me, if it's stressing me, there's nothing I can do about it, or there's nothing I'm willing to do, and I'm still carrying it around with me. I need to let it go so that I can raise my vibration. So it's not like heavy, that heaviness, right? So I can lighten up and stop carrying that load. These are ways that we can let it go. Noticing how I feel, and I can either direct energy that way and then let it go. I can put it in a ball. I can let it go out through my feet, give it to the earth. These are all ways that we can let go and surrender it to a higher power, surrender it to the earth, surrender it to creation, surrender it to source, and let go. And trust. Trust is a big part of this, trust and faith. Like, I don't think any of this can be done without trust, without faith, about that belief that the universe is a supportive place, it's a friendly place, rather than the belief that the universe is hostile and against me, like Einstein talked about. So believing that there's supportive energies around you, you just have to let it go. You have to let it go. Like those monks, right? The one carried the woman across the river, and then they get a couple miles down the road, and the other monk's like, I can't believe you did that. We're not supposed to touch women. And he's like, what do you mean? I set her down 2 miles ago. You're the one that's still carrying her. Right? The things that you're carrying that you don't need to be carrying. Yeah. And so energy work is kind of like a quick way to do it. And I taught you, these other ways too of letting go, of processing our emotions. And energy work is more of a quicker way to tune in and release and let go. It can be quick. All right. Cool. All right. Well, I will see you all on Tuesday. And I think I might send out another video, but if you haven't watched the other three around victim responsibility, watch those. I personally love them, but all right. Thanks for sticking.
Right. Thank you, Lorraine.
Thank you. Good night, everyone.
Night.
Bye.
Bye. Oh no.
Bye.
Bye.
How are
Good
you?
job tonight.
Oh, thanks.
You're welcome.
Thanks. Oh. I still gotta finish up my stuff for the day 30.
I gotta go make my bed.
Yeah. Did you clean your room?
Sorta.
Yeah. What do you mean?
I had to finish doing it. I'm not gonna do it tonight.
But you started?
Um,
Yeah, I don't have, well, yeah, I just still have a lot of junk that I need to like sort through. Clothes that are taken out of my closet that are in a big pile, that kind of stuff.
But you started? Are you saying you started?
Not really.
Oh,
I mean,
well, what do you mean, sorta? That you sorta cleaned your room?
well, I need to get stuff that's
Well,
in
I
piles.
know that you need to do stuff, but what does sorta mean? Sorta means that you kind of did?
Well, there aren't clothes laying out. It's clothes that need to be put away laying out, I should say. Just stuff I need to sort through.
Got it.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah. So, well, good job. I'm going to go make my bed now and get ready for bed.
All right. Love you.
Love you too.
Bye.
Bye.